Well, I'm back out in the wilderness again, and I'm in a really beautiful location. It took me about half an hour to get here, mostly just driving on the back roads, slowly going up in elevation, but not too high, but high enough to see a little bit of frost creeping about, and it was about -6 last night, and now it's kind of warming up to like +3 or 4 degrees C, so it's real misty, but it does make for a pretty beautiful sight. The Jeep's all decked out, and I've put it back on the winter tyres, so it's on the bead locks with the studded Cooper tyres on it, as the roads are a little bit treacherous this morning. I got out pretty early, but I'm not going to be staying here. I just wanted to check this location out because I spotted it on the map and I thought, well, maybe it is going to be a nice spot, and it is pretty nice. But the other location I've got in mind is about 50 kilometers away. It's going to be a bit of a drive, mostly the back roads of how I've planned it. Anyway, I should stop talking. Let's get going. Let's not pretend we don't know who's up there. It's a real treacherous time of year, this, because you have this layer of ice on top and the ground feels really hard when you walk on it. And then you drive in and it breaks, and all the mush and the runoff underneath that hasn't frozen yet just kind of starts to get churned up. But I only just came down here really to have a cup of tea and take a leak, basically. Have a little break, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Looks like it snowed in this area though, so yeah, that's nice. Forecasted for heavy snow tomorrow, a yellow warning apparently. get memory foam. Ooh, this is a pretty decent bag. I use this for backpacking. It's a Thermarest down bag. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, but this one can go down to about -18. So that is extremely cold compared to what it's going to be tonight. I think it's about -7 tonight. So, but you know, good to be prepared anyway. I can't imagine I'll sleep with the diesel heater running. The noise is, been out with it a few times now with it running, and the noise is horrible, but I like using it in the evening when I'm reading, and in the morning when I've just woken up and I just want to chill in the tent for a bit, you know, and have it a bit warm. The sun's on its way down and it's starting to cool off. Before it cools off too much and I start losing a bit too much body heat, I'm gonna get my old jacket on and then put that over the top of it. And I'm tempted to have a little fire tonight, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. %100% battery. Cold in there as well. So we don't need that on anymore. It's warmer in the fridge than it is out here. I think I shall take a few things out. I'll just leave the lid open for a while. Let it cool off in the fridge. Bit of a treat for later. Winter chanterelles. Ooh, hell yeah. As temps drop, I have to take this off and either put it in the vehicle or up in the awning room. And I'm still missing a lid for the one the other side. So I just carry that because it looks good. Without a lid. Got some new tea. Went back to the UK recently and picked up a box of Yorkshire Gold. Jesus Christ. It's the most powerful tea this side of Europe. Gave some to some friends and they can't get enough of that now. They're just, I got them in the palm of my hand. With the Murica here, normally I'm cooking on white gas these days, and you know, Primus power fuel basically, much cheaper than these bottles, and working in really low temps like -40, it doesn't really matter. So unfortunately I've run out, so I'm back on the bottles again. You can see how much longer they really take, but the Primus winterized version of this kind of power gas you get here, although this is MSR, in Sweden it's pretty much dominated by Primus. It's about 15 euros for a tin of the winterized version of that, so that's why it's way better to get the power fuel. It's like 1 litre is about 9 euros and it lasts, you know, much longer really. You're getting more fuel for your money, but you just have to pump it basically to make it all work, which some people don't like. But yeah, it's expensive when you camp a lot. Legendary. Thought I'd come and say goodbye to the sun. Don't get much sunlight this time of year, and we're not even in the dead of winter yet. So the days are pretty decent at the moment. You're getting sort of fairly strong sunlight from around 10 o'clock till, yeah, around about 2:30. So we're coming up to 3 o'clock now, and the sun is making a beeline for the trees. So going to be gone pretty soon. You know, I'd say say 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's down behind the trees and gone. Chanterelles up here, but looks like lots of them are being munched by something, or someone's up here picking them. Pretty much all gone. That's what we're talking about. Decided I'm going to have myself a fire. I feel a little bit bad making one up here because I'm not really meant to be here, as I say, but you know, I'm sure logging machines would do worst. But getting all the materials together, just made some small feathers, cut some dead standing, split that down, get the dry wood in the middle, make lots of kindling, found a root, and that's full of resin, fat wood. Great stuff this. There's not really any birch in this forest. If you break that open, you basically see all you've got's resin, and you can break that down and use that for another day. So we can scrape that with the back of a knife, put a spark in it, get that lit, get the feather lit, then get the kindling lit, and then we've got ourselves a fire. Come on, it's so cold. There we are. Try and move that in nice and quick. It's a little bit of a terrible fire lay, really, and a pathetic attempt. So in order not to smother it, I have to hold the stack a little bit, just to allow the fuel, like the tinder, like the fat wood and stuff, to burn. If that goes down too soon, then you'll lose it, really. But it can be rescued, really. Once the fuel wood's going, like the kindling and stuff, it should be all good. But you can even see it's still struggling. You really got to make sure that wood's lit when you've done a fire like me. But we all do them, right? Time to time, you just don't put as much effort in as you did on a really warm sunny day with perfect materials all around you. Nice. Gonna keep it simple tonight. Just gonna build the fire up big and strong, and get a fairly nice bed of embers. Gonna detach this, take the stove off, and cook on an open fire. I like to do that sometimes. I know, like, you know, you drive around with all this equipment, but it's good to keep your hand in it, I think. And then, if you're in an area like this, it's pretty deep in the wilderness. It feels quite remote, and you know, you're a little bit sort of, you know, you want to make it feel a little bit more homely. A fire's a good shout, really, but I've got to let it burn down before I put this on. It's going to be impossible to cook on it for at least, well, at least sort of half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm going to have to make some more tea, sadly. Tonight I've got some nice food planned, really. Going to keep it a bit foresty. Got a piece of steak, got some yellowfoot, and yeah, going to have a bit of potato, I think. And yeah, tomato, something like that. Just cook it all up on the murica, and yeah, should be lush, actually. I know I have two little outlets there. One's normally for the awning room, but I haven't got anything to block it off, so I just put both of them up in the roof tent, and I'm going to have it recirculating the air tonight, see what the condensation's like, but just try and keep the power usage at a minimum. I think I'm going to get the potatoes on the go with some warm water. Water heating up. I have to level that. That is not good, is it? There we go. Looks pretty good to me. I still haven't got any lights for the Jeep. Really need to sort that out. Something just above me here on the hatch would be amazing. But the snow's starting to come in. It's barely snow at the moment, but apparently we got a yellow warning. And tomorrow it's going to come down hard all day. That should be cool. I just took the light that came with the rooftop tent out. Thought maybe I could use that. That's pretty nice, isn't it? It's all like flipping Christmassy, and this is, yeah, cool. Mate of mine really got me into this stuff. Now I just use loads of it. Black pepper. So good. Use a bit of this as well. That was a bit too much, wasn't it? Do that. Well, there it is, grubs up, looking good. Nice steak, got some tomatoes. Done quite a lot of food actually, really this is enough for two, but I will try and smash all of it. Potatoes, fried them a bit, come out pretty nice actually. And the chanterelles, which is definitely a good treat. That's it, nice. So that's it, looking good. Let's give it a try. Let's try chanterelle first. Yeah, not bad. Good flavour though. Really good flavour. The only thing is I have a very small plate. So that was a pretty big meal, but yeah, I ate all of that, and that should do me through the night really, keep me warm. But it's pretty warm in here. I've got a thermometer just over here, it's 11 degrees in the roof tent, and it's -4 outside, so that's a pretty big difference. And the diesel heater's running on about 3.2 hertz, so just under half power. But while I'm up here, I thought I'd give you a little tour of what it's like. This is a Constellation Luxe Double sleeping bag, like an all-season bag, but it's nowhere kitted out for minus conditions. I think 0 degrees is about the max it can handle, but it lives in here all the time. And I've got my Arctic bag in the corner, which I'll get out later on when the diesel heater gets shut off, because I won't be sleeping with it on, because it is kind of loud and it gets a bit too warm, to be honest with you. I like the sound of the trees and the wind a bit more. But I hang all my stuff up in the corner there, so my boots and everything gets hung from the top of there. Hopefully that hook will survive. If not, I'm probably sure I'll find out, you know, somewhere along the lines. But I've got the 3 hoses coming in, so the main one, which is the shortest hose, blows the most air. This is the one which is the intake, so I just usually tuck that down there. And this long hose goes in the bottom of the sleeping bag and just kind of inflates the sleeping bag like a bit of a balloon and fills it full of warm air. So while you're inside the bag, it's pretty damn comfortable. But then this being a much longer hose, it means less air actually comes out of it, you know, so it's a little bit more kind of kind on the feet. But I don't think I'd sleep too soundly without this. This is a carbon monoxide detector, definitely want that. I usually just leave it there. And I also have a fire alarm built into the diesel heater box, which does work. I've tested it. So it's normally the exhaust that's a problem with these things, not so much the heater unit itself. The exhaust can, you know, things can go wrong basically, and you just never know. I've built it as best I can, but you never know. So I have that in there just so I can hear something if it catches on fire. And it has 2 quick release pins on it, so I can launch it off the back of the tyre carrier if need be and get it away from the vehicle. So all of that really is, to some people, excessive. To me it means I sleep better if I've got it running. So I'm going to do some reading. I've got Thomas the Tank Engine Volume 2, finished Volume 1. That was, yeah, it was a hell of a read really. Some great writing, but you know, I'm interested to see what Volume 2 is going to be like. And unless anything really magical or terrifying happens, I'll see you in the morning. Oh, snow. Wow. It's begun. Bad. I was expecting that to say way less, but 69%. That's quite impressive actually. I'm pretty happy with that. We're not quite deep enough into winter yet where I don't need to rely on the rotor pack for water. When the snow's obviously deep and you have ice and stuff, you can just kind of not rely on it so much at all really, or just have one bottle in the car if need be. But this thing's kind of frozen up around here, around the spigot, so it's got to be taken off, and I'm going to put it in the roof tent. Jesus, there we go. Warm it up. Really want to get myself another litre of this power gas, the white gas, because this stuff just does not cut it at this time of year really. Well, it's all right today, it's about -4 now, but you have to kind of turn the can. For breakfast today, we're serving tomatoes and eggs, winter chanterelles, wheatboner i tomatsås. I've given up the fight on putting the tent away in a fashion that means it doesn't have to be opened again. I think the system will work with the diesel heater and drying it all out and everything, and the material being dry if it's not snowing. But when it's snowing, obviously then it's worst case scenario, because it's all melting and turning into ice, which it has done. But one thing you got to remember, I think, if you're in a cold climate, is to use this silicone seal treatment on the entirety of the rooftop tent, like you do on the door jambs. I have to do it every year so they don't stick, because if I put that away now and then I drive off somewhere and it heats up and then it gets cold again, it's going to rip the seals to bits when it opens up. So this is just something you buy from the gas station, the fuel station. It's just a silicone rubber treatment. It'll stop it gripping, and you might have to do that a couple of times, 3 times at absolute most over winter. Yeah, anyway. On this side, I put it on my hand and just do that, you know. I don't know what you guys are on about. I never cook too much. I never cook too much. I mean, this is, well, for me, this is a portion for 2. So yeah, I did cook too much, but Mother Nature's carbon-based yummy foods. This is going to be the way it's going to be. There's so little power coming out of this this bottle. Yeah. Well, that's me basically packed away, really. One thing I'd like you to note about this video is I didn't make pancakes for breakfast, did I? So, never know. This channel's full of surprises, basically. But I think to note the equipment, if you look at it, it's just everything's covered in snow. And when I drive along, the vehicle gets warm. That snow turns to water, and it's going to all go down into the vehicle and end up in the footwells and stuff. And that isn't really a good thing because of rust. You know, even though I've spent a myriad of years building the car and making it as rustless as possible and resistant, water always finds a way. You're never going to stop it. There'll be a nook or cranny somewhere, water gets in a seam, you know. So I kind of want to avoid that, because obviously, you know, I want to be coming out a lot and I'm going to need to dry the vehicle out. So when I get back, at some point when I've got some time, I'm going to make a tarp. I've got 3 camping poles, big ones at home, extendable aluminium ones, so there's no reason why I can't have a tarp coming off a hook on the back of the roof tent and expanding out over here. Or maybe just going to a couple of trees, for example, but if there's no trees, I'll use the poles. And then I can angle one side down and stop all the snow when it does snow from going into the vehicle. So that's another mod that I'm going to do. In the summer that would be terrible, because then you're basically creating a safe haven for the flies to escape the sun, and you'd just be hounded by mosquitoes and biting midges and horse flies and, you know, all the other stuff you've got here like knot and all of that horrible stuff. Onto the road. Looks like we're going to need four-wheel drive. There is a fair amount of snow, but really not that much. So I'm in another location here. I've been driving for a little while, not too far. Still, to be honest, in that big expanse of wilderness where predominantly all of these roads are definitely built for logging. You know, and that's kind of why they're there. But yeah, it's a beautiful spot. I've just found this place here. It's well looked after, which is always a good sign. You've got a little book there, I might write in that. And this is an absolutely lush spot. I mean, when this is frozen, you can walk out and just do some ice fishing and try and get to the deeper spots. They call it pimpling here. It's a nice pastime actually over the winter, as long as it's not too windy and flipping really cold. A lot of Swedish people out there ask me whether I can speak Swedish and when am I going to do an episode in Swedish. I probably won't do an episode in Swedish, men jag kan prata svenska, men min svenska är det är inte så bra. Det går långsamt för mig. Jag pratar med ingen varje dag, jag jobbar med ingen varje dag, jag jobbar ensam, så jag pratar inte så mycket svenska varje dag. Min fru jobbar i skolan, hon är en assistentlärare, så hon pratar svenska varje dag. Jag gick till SFI 6 månader. Det gick bra, men jag tror SFI var okej, men du just sitter på stolen och jobbar på datorn själv. Men ibland du pratar med lärare och ja, det är bra. Det var okej, men för mig, I speak like a 10-year-old. I speak Swedish like a 7-year-old kid, basically, as you can probably hear. Så jag kan gå ut i Åsele i städen och prata med folk i Åsele och Vilhelmina och Dorotea och Lycksele. Så jag bor i Åsele, i Västerbotten. Så jag kan gå ut och prata med folk, men det är svårt för mig med jag träffas med någon och vem har en stark dialekt. Så ja, jag måste lyssna, jag måste fokusera när jag pratar med folk i Åsele och Norrland, Sverige. Så ja, jag tror det går bra, men jag just I sound like a 10-year-old. I sound like a kid, basically. I can't express a great deal of detail. I can basically talk in a basic way, like go out, do shopping, ask for stuff, meet someone, say, yeah, I'm having a good day, or the weather sucks. So I have kind of like, I guess, the foundation of the vocabulary, but I don't have enough descriptive words to be able to talk about like a lot of passion and detail in what I'm saying. But maybe in the north of Sweden you don't even need that. I don't know. I don't bump across too many people who really talk like that anyway. So, I get by okay, but it's going slow and my studying's kind of sporadic because I'm working so much. Jag jobbar med min företag, jag jobbar som mekanik i Åsele med Åsele bilservice, like Bosch mechanic service i Åsele, inte hela tiden, bara 2 dagar på veckan, eller ibland ingenting. Så jag måste vänta när de behöver mig. De ska ringa mig och jag ska säga ja, jag är ledig, jag kan jobba med dig. Så ja, det går långsamt för mig. Svenska språk är, jag tror detta är inte så svårt, men det just går långsamt. When I first started speaking, so if you don't speak Swedish, you might not have understood anything I said, and if you are Swedish, you probably didn't understand anything I said. But I'm not going to write subtitles. I just can't be bothered to do that. But basically, I'm just talking about my Swedish language and where I live and what I do for a job and everything. But so if you've got any tips for me, I've tried things like Duolingo and stuff. I don't really get on well with that. Write them in the comments below. But I think the best way to learn Swedish is just to be in an environment where you're forced to speak it, and I don't have that, and that's kind of why it goes slowly for me, because the people I work with, they all speak English because it's kind of a bit international there, so everyone chooses to do that. I work with Italian people and Dutch people and everything, really, all myself. So which is the least fun. But anyway, let's write something in this book. Dear Santa, when I was a child, all I had was the K's catalogue, the lingerie section, ! Please could you send me a limited edition copy of Razzle, Volume 7? That would be fantastic, and it would make all my dreams come true. I just banged my head again. But this is really where I'm going to end the video, and me and the Jeep are going to say fare thee well until the next time. It will be out again very soon. This is a golden time of year because the snow is not high enough to really inhibit you getting into the back roads and into the logging roads and stuff and getting to these remote places. But it's also not high enough to be a challenge and not to make things interesting. So the winch will come into use within the months to come when the snow is kind of like somewhere up here. on the tyre, and and you're having to push through it. And that's kind of why I like to run a fairly high lift and a 35-inch tyre, because it allows me to get around a bit, and then I'll chuck the chains in the back and the snowshoes and a bit of other gear. I've got some mods to make, and I'll show you that just before I go. I talked about the tarp coming off the back there. I'm definitely going to do that with either a couple of poles and just have long paracord on it so I can string it up to trees and stuff. But the poles kind of allow you to make a more rigid structure, really, so the snow doesn't just cave it in. So I'll probably end up doing that, and just not a big tarp, just a little one, just enough to stop the snow just soaking everything, because it's going to trash my draw system. It makes kind of working at the back a bit uncomfortable. Really, like one of those 270-degree awnings would be amazing, but you're talking money, and I don't really have that. But this window's coming out, this back window here, and the plan is to have like a little vent with a key on. And what I mean by that is you open it, and then you've got access to the inside. So this is going to be an aluminium panel, and then what I want to be able to do is just run one of the diesel heater hoses into the vehicle if I'm not running the awning room. And the plan is really that is going to allow me in a breakdown, for example, if I've got Megan and Max, my wife and son, on board, and he's only a little pup. Like let's say we're in minus 15, 20, and we've been out driving and doing a bit of sort of exploring and stuff, and the vehicle breaks down, I can just have that in there and heat up the vehicle while it's off, while I work on it, and also jump back in and warm up when I need to. So it's just more in case of emergencies, but also in the dead of winter, I guess it's just going to allow me to keep a warmer environment inside, and maybe I'll move these rotor packs on the inside and stuff, and just have a warm vehicle basically. So I would really like to do that. I'm going to wait though on all that mechanical stuff. At this time of year I've still got plenty of ability to get out and enjoy the wilderness as much as I can. So I don't want to retire the Jeep off-road just yet. I want to use it, I want to have fun. And until the snow becomes impassable and the plough trucks create like a Mount Everest just at the beginning of all these logging roads and trails and stuff, so you can't access them, then I'll take it off-road, and then I've got a couple of months, well, three and a half months of it being in the workshop, and I'll start working on all this stuff, because I've got to overhaul the suspension as well. I'm not happy with some of the ways it's performing and stuff. I've got a bit of work I want to do. It's like that every year. You run it, you find problems, you make it better, you run it, and it keeps going. So and then your wallet just keeps emptying, and you keep telling your missus, look, baked beans are fine, you can live on baked beans and bread, so stop complaining. But anyway, that's it from me. I've talked enough like usual. You've probably all fallen asleep, and I'm going to get out of here. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video very soon. Take care.